Hello everyone. This video is meant to be a presentation for the mobile application share predictions. The App Store link to the application itself is available in the description below. The given content here is only meant to be for informational purposes, and nothing shared in this presentation should be considered as a financial advice. So let's start. In today's video, we're going to be analyzing the Palantir stock by looking at some technical indicators. And also we're going to be looking at some AI predictions for the short-term price movement of the stock. So let's start. To be able to do the analysis, we press on the middle button here, named Stock Analysis, which brings us to the search page for ETFs and stocks. And under the stocks, we just search for the ticker PLTR, which is the ticker for the Palantir Technologies, which brings us to the Palantir's details page. At the top of the screen here, we see the candlestick chart for the last 3 months. Just under that, we have the MACD and signal line graphs, and just under that, we have the RSI 14 graph. At the bottom of these graphs, you can see different time intervals, as you see. And you can also select different types of graphs and technical indicators that you potentially want to observe. And further down on the screen, you see the technical indicators for the stock itself, which are updated after the end of each business day when the numbers are settled from the stock market. Later on, we also have some short-term AI prediction for the price movement of the stock that we're going to be talking about a bit more later on. And at the bottom of the screen, you see the company details and the description in this version of the app. So what we see when we have a quick look at the stock itself, in the last 3 months, the price has gone down by 17.17%. But in the last 2 weeks or so, the price has been increasing. It went up from the levels of $11 to the levels of $14. So if you have a quick look at the MACD and signal line graphs, the MACD happens to be above zero line, which is perceived to be a good indicator for the stock itself, for the stock price itself. And also MACD happens to be bigger than signal line too. And the trend is looking like it will continue like this in the very short term as well. There's no guarantee, but by looking at the past trend of the graph, it may be fair to say that it will continue like this a bit more, at least in the very near future. If we have a look at the RSI 14, RSI happens to be above the middle line, which is 50, so it is above 50 here. And if the RSI 14 is very close to 70 or above, then it is perceived as the stock itself is overbought. And if the RSI 14 value is below 30, it is perceived that the stock itself is oversold. It is above 50 right now, and the trend is upwards, so which is perceived to be a good indication for the price of the stock for the short term as well. It should be noted that none of these technical indicators should be taken as one single reference when evaluating a particular stock. Different things should be considered to be able to analyze the stock from multiple angles. Another thing that traders have a tendency to look at is the moving averages. If you have a look at the 20 days moving average and 50 days moving average, we just press on moving average MA20D, which is going to give us the 20 days moving average, which is the white line as you see there. And if we press on the MA50 days, so the moving average of 50 days, which is the yellow line, what we observe is that in the past, so the 20 days moving average has been smaller than the 50 days moving average. And now, very recently, the 20 days moving average just crossed the 50 days moving average and has become bigger than the 50 days moving average, kind of indicating that the price of the stock has the trend of going upwards right now. So apart from this, you can also have a look at the moving average of last 5 days, last 200 days, and you can also have a look at the Bollinger Band on the graph. Down below, you see the technical indicators. If you have a look at these very shortly, the RSI of the stock happens to be exactly 57.18 as of today. The MACD value happens to be 0.5, and the signal line happens to be 0.31, giving us a positive histogram value of 0.19. So the volatility of the stock, the last 5 days volatility happens to be 5.1%, and this is the 5 business days. And last 20 business days volatility happens to be 5.34%, and so on. So, and in the last 5 days, 5 business days, the price of the stock has gone down by 2.2%. But in the last 20 business days, the price has gone up by 25.82%. And if we have a short look at the short-term AI prediction for the stock itself, the prediction was made on the 5th of April and is valid until the 3rd of May. And the price increase likelihood happens to be 50.8%, and the reference buy target is $14.55. So since the prediction itself is just about 50%, 50.8%, it kind of indicates that even if the price of the stock is then, since the prediction itself is about 50%, the price itself is expected to go up, but the expectation doesn't seem to be that high in the very short term, in the very coming month actually. So it may be fair to say that it will still remain at these levels. Maybe it's going to be going up and down based on the recent volatility numbers as listed here under the technical indicators section. And below the short-term AI prediction, you can see the company details and the detailed description of the company. So it's a services prepackaged software company, as you probably already know. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.